Okay, in this video we are going to talk about what an inversion is in music. So the word invert literally means to flip upside down, just like a pancake. When you flip it upside down, that means you're inverting that pancake. So I want to show you how you can invert any kind of chord, whether it's a triad or a seventh chord. It's very simple. Let's say we have a chord built on E. This is a triad. It has 3 notes. It's in root position because it's spelled in thirds, E, G, B. So to invert this triad, we would take the E off the bottom and flip it upside down. Keep your G, keep your B, and E goes on top. We have just inverted that triad. We call this the first inversion. Again, this is a root position triad. It's spelled in thirds. That's how we know. So I've just created the first inversion. Now I'm going to invert it again. I'm going to take the G off the bottom. I'm going to keep the B, keep the E right where they are, and put the G right on top. Notice we're getting some different shapes. Here we have thirds, third on bottom, third on top. Here we have third on bottom, but a fourth on top. Then here's that fourth, and now we have a third on top. This is, of course, called the second inversion. And if we wanted to flip that chord again and invert that chord again, we'd take the B off the bottom, keep the E, keep the G, put the B on top, and now you've discovered we're back to root position. Okay, you can invert any type of triad. What if this was, instead of E minor triad, what if it was an E major triad? Just make sure you take that G sharp into each chord. When you invert it, make sure the G sharp stays on top, or you keep the sharp next to the G there. Okay, what if we have a seventh chord? A seventh chord is made of a triad. That's a really big bottom note. Let's make him a triad plus an extra chord tone, which happens to be a seventh above the bass note. That's why we call these seventh chords. So if I have a seventh chord, I just have a few more notes to keep track of, and I have an extra inversion that I can do. Take your F off the bottom, keep your A, your C, your E, and add your F to the top. Notice they have to be written next to each other if it's an interval of a second. This is a root position seventh chord. It's spelled in thirds, F, A, C, E. All of the intervals are thirds. This is our first inversion. Now I'm going to take the A off the bottom, keep the C, keep the E, keep the F, put my A right there above the F. Notice we're getting some different shapes again, different intervals. Second inversion. I'm going to invert it again because I'm not yet back to my root position. That's how we know we have covered all the inversion possibilities. Take your C off the bottom, keep your E, F, A, put your C on the top, and we have our third inversion. Take your E off the bottom, keep the F, A, C, put your E on top, and we are back to root position. That's how you invert a triad or a seventh chord.